You're joined by the Sweet Science, breaking down boxing one punch at a time and powered by Fortress Boxing. And today we are gonna be going through the Warren Boxing Management show that I went to on the 13th of June. If you are watching this, maybe another day. I went there yesterday, today's Sunday. And I'm just going to go through all the fights, my personal opinion on all the fights of each fight as well. And on top of that, the show as a general, give my personal opinion as a fan and media, most importantly. But let's jump straight into it. So, the opener of the show, I think the opener was a really good fight, by the way. Apologies if I do keep looking down. I've got the running order in front of me here. Just want to make sure I do it all correctly. But yes, the opener was James Gardner versus Jesse Brandon. Now, that was a 6-rounder as well. The crazy thing is, I realised that was James Gardner's second fight. And he's done a 6-rounder. That's not normally heard of. A lot of pros, maybe they're 2, maybe 3 fights, they do 4-rounders. But yeah, it was a good fight either way. Both fighters came, they really came to, win. How I saw the fight go, I feel like James Gardner was quite dominant generally throughout the whole fight. He was throwing in a lot of combos, picking his shots and kind of like, taking his time a bit. While Jesse was just trying to look for the big shot. The problem was, Jesse was a bit of a smaller fighter. James is quite tall. He's about 6'1" at least. And he's welterweight. Big welterweight. And I feel like Jesse just wasn't getting that success coming in. Not using that double jab and getting that back on. But I'm not giving him boxing tips. I'm not a professional boxing coach. I'm saying my own opinion before anyone jumps on me. But yeah, fair play to James Gardner. Threw a lot of combos. The thing I've noticed about James Gardner is he's a quick starter. And a lot of pros, let's say 60% of pros are not quick starters. They like to have a little round just to feel out, just to, take it easy. That's why a lot of bad amateur boxers actually are good in the pros, because they need the rounds to get their, get the ball rolling a bit. But yeah, again, Gardner won, came out victorious. I did speak to him. He says he doesn't want to fight no journeyman. He just wants to get activity. He wants to hopefully fight for the title next year, early 2027. And I'm sure he will. Decent boxer. I mean, I can't say too much. It's early in his career. I need to see him against some good opposition. And I'll tell you what, there are some good welterweights out there. So let's see what happens. Next fight after that was Khalid Ali versus Meanwell. It was Khalid Ali's comeback fight after 2 years out. And do you know what? People don't realise, only 2 years out. But having 2 years out of the ring is a long time. And he performed fairly well for someone that had 2 years out of the ring. Obviously, you got to think all the ring rust and etc. But I think he done a good job. Boxwell showed his skill. He is quite a good fighter. He's a real good fighter. I feel like maybe he didn't perform as well as he has in his previous fights. However, he's back on track now, back to winning ways, and props to him for coming back into boxing and going into a fight. 6 rounds went all the way through. I don't think his opponent did too much. Obviously, no disrespect to his opponent, but maybe Khalid was just that, maybe 2 levels above than his opponent. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Let's see what else he does. I think he has the potential to go pretty far in the sport. But yeah, again, we can't just judge him off one comeback fight. I need to see him against better opposition, but I'm sure he's going to do well. The next fight was Cameron McKay versus Lopez Flores. Cameron McKay, 4th fight, really good boxer, really aggressive boxer as well. The guy was throwing bombs. He was throwing some serious shots. And fair play to his opponent. His opponent was withstanding them shots. Because I feel like, generally, if he got in the ring with anyone else, it might have been a different story. It might have been a stoppage. But boxed very well. Very slick boxer as well. I do like his style. Very comfortable in that ring. He's not very he's got a bit of that American style in him. If you know what I mean, by being very slow down, kind of like taking his time, picking his shots and just defense, footwork. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy that's bringing with confidence as well. I think he took this fight on 2 weeks' notice as well. What again is not really heard of. Fighters don't really take 2 weeks fights on 2 week notice unless you're a journeyman, where journeymen fight pretty much every week. But fair play to him. Yeah, McKay done a good job, got the win, and yeah, pushed on. Let's see what's next for him though. Again, I don't want to talk too much. He is a super featherweight, and he's a big old super featherweight. He's not a small guy as well, McKay. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. And yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Definitely will keep a close eye on his career. Next fight was Ketteringham. I don't know if I've said that correctly. Versus Naeem Ali. Now, one thing I do want to mention here, yeah. Naeem Ali, he's a journeyman. I've seen him about a lot of times. He's boxed all over the country. I've seen him at York a few times. Guy's a very good boxer. I'll be so honest with you. For someone that probably doesn't take training seriously and comes for a little paycheck, he's a decent boxer. But fair play to Ketteringham, he did box well as well. I feel like Ali was just like, you know, how can I say? He started off well, then he got hit with a few big shots, and then he kind of slowed down a lot. And you can tell towards the end he was getting tired. He was just doing a bit of that showboating stuff. Not much I can say on that fight. I'll be so honest with you. Kettering boxed well. He beat Naeem. That's it. There's not much else I can say that fight. I would like to see Kettering against a better opposition that's going to come there to actually win. But yeah, see what happens. Maybe it was a comeback fight for him. But yeah, on to the next fight now. Now, this fight for me was fight of the night. And I said this before I do talk about it, I wouldn't say who it is. Dean Gardner versus Joseph Butler. Both good fighters, very good fighters. Super lightweight. I feel like, one thing I do want to say, I feel like Joe Butler should be more featherweight, I'll be so honest with you, or maybe lightweight, 60 kilo, 61 kilo. He come on obviously at 63.5, I think the super lightweight limit is. But wow, that was action from the first bell. Now, I did do a watch along to this fight, so I watched this fight very closely, and I'll tell you what, Dean Gardner, what a fighter he is. He does not stop coming forward. It's like, you can hit him with a train and he will just get up and carry on coming forward. And I feel like that's what proved the difference in the fight. Now, don't get me wrong, Joe Butler is a good fighter. He's in that southpaw stance. He looks very heavy-handed as well. I was seeing his uppercuts and whatnot, but I feel like what it was, Butler just couldn't handle the heat. When it got really hot for Butler, when Dean kept on coming forward, he was putting that pressure on Butler, and he just couldn't kind of handle the pressure. Because it was like, imagine you're like throwing a lot of shots at someone and you're trying to hurt them, and they just keep coming forward. It's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? And I feel that was a game plan for Butler. He just come forward, tried to kind of run him over. Got caught with a few good shots, Dean did, and he did take them well. But also on top of that, Dean Gardner gave some great shots to Butler that got him a win. One thing I want to say is, it was for the vacant Commonwealth International title. So there was a title on the line. But again, for the fans, it was a great fight. It was an 8th round stoppage. Dean did get the win. One other thing I've got to say, big up to Dean. He gave me a shirt. Look, that mean Dean. Proper nice fella as well. I had a nice chat with him after the fight, and he tells me he wants more. He's looking at the English title now, and that's something that he wants to aim for. He did fight for the Southern area, but unfortunately he lost that fight. However, if the English title is available for him, why not? The holder is Giorgio Visioli at that weight. So Giorgio Visioli is really good. So I don't know what the logistics of that's gonna be, but we see what happens. And oh no, actually, no, I'm mistaken. that fight is getting fought for because Georgie Vicioli, I think, has vacated it. And he's moving up maybe for the British and whatnot. But yeah, what a fight that was. Big up to Dean and big up to Joe Butler as well for putting on a absolute spectacle. Next fight, Hamza Mahmoud versus Tanata. Again, I feel like Hamza Mahmoud boxed very well. Easy fight for him. Tanata was quite durable though, from Peru. Again, a journeyman, I'm guessing. But I'll be honest, like, considering the durable of Tanata, Hamza Mahmoud, he didn't. Let me start that bit again. So the next fight after this was Hamza Mahmoud versus Tanata. So Tanata from Peru came down to have a fight with him. Hamza Mahmoud, don't want to sound like that. Bantamweight contest. Good fight. I mean, obviously, let's be honest, it was a journeyman. Not much that I can say about that. Hamza was supposed to win. But one thing I will say, Hamza is a very good boxer. Very clinical. I do like his style. Maybe I think his original opponent maybe pulled out or something. I don't know if that's true though, but again, Hamza just showed his class and yeah, just won by flying colours. Now, fair play to Tanata, he was a strong customer. Didn't back down. Caused a few issues for Hamza, not like anything crazy, but like, you know, did put Hamza on the back foot a few times. However, yeah, Hamza Mahmoud again. I need to see Hamza in a bigger and better fight. I think he's very early in his pro career, but I would like to see him against someone maybe on the Southern Area level. I think he's past that though. I'll be so honest with you. I think he's better than Southern Area level in my opinion. Definitely can push on to the English, but obviously you can't rush the guy too much. You don't want to rush too early. But yeah, hopefully I'll see more of him. I'd like to see more of him. Good fighter. Very good fighter. Now the co-main event for the vacant WBC Greater Turan, I think if that's the belt's name. Greater Turan featherweight title. Jasari versus Mason. Now, this was a good fight. A very good fight. Just to, you know, shortcut basically, Jasari did win in good fashion. Marley did box very well though. Marley Mason boxed very well. I feel like, I don't want to sound too critical, but I feel like Marley Mason just didn't do enough to get the win. It was more of a maybe, I want to say 60-40 fight. But Jasari was just that little, maybe 5% better. There wasn't a massive gap in that fight, by the way. I didn't watch the whole thing, but there was a massive gap in that fight. But from when I was watching bits and bobs there, Jasari would look better. He looked more clinical. He looked like, you know, good work with his defense as well. And Marley Mason really went for it though. He really went for it. I just feel like it just wasn't his night. It just wasn't his night. I didn't manage to catch up with him. I wanted to catch up with him, but I think he left straight after. But yeah, now for Jasari, he's from Jashari. I've got to say it like that, not Jasari, but apologies for that. Now, what's next for Jasari? He's got to fight for another title, surely. He's a decent fighter, but I think it was his second fight in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. It was his second fight in the UK, and yeah, well, big fight to have for his second fight in the UK. I think he boxed out of Germany, if I'm not mistaken, or another country, and now he's come over here, and yeah, what a fight. Seems like real deal. Had some good set of fans though. For someone that's from Switzerland, had a good set of fans, mate. Honestly, yeah. What's next for Marley Mason? I think he can definitely come back. It's not like, oh, you've lost now. You've lost to a good boxer. You're out of the race. Definitely can come back. And he's a really good boxer as well. Like, he's not a shit boxer. So, yeah, we see what happens there. Again, there wasn't too much to talk about that fight. I can't, like, go into too much detail because, again, I didn't watch every single bit of it. But I'm just giving my opinion of it. But, yeah, Now on to the main event. Now this fight I did watch every single minute of. Lucky enough to get perfect ringside seats for that as well, because normally at the main event it gets busy and you can't get any ringside seats. But yeah, I managed to get some nice seats for that. And what a fight that was. I think, again, do you know what? It was, I didn't even mention them. James Hawley versus Ellis Stewart. And James Hawley is a Commonwealth champion. At super middleweight. Yes, super middle. Make sure. There's no way these guys can be middleweight. They were massive, by the way. That's one thing. Both boxers, they looked huge when they came into that ring. Don't look like super middleweights to me. They look more like light heavyweights. I don't want to say cruiser, but that's going too much. But anyway, great fight. Really good fight. I'm not going to say it was my fight of the night, because I already said what was my fight of the night, but that was a great main event. Now, Hawley, again, when they both did start that fight, they kind of took it easy, tried to feel each other a bit, tried to see what's going on, didn't give too much. But in the second round, I feel like Hawley just put the pedal to the metal, and he was just like, you know what? Forget this. I'm here to box, mate. I'm here to fight. And one thing that I feel like Hawley possesses that's going to take him so far is that jab. That jab is something else, mate. It's like, I don't know, it's just so pinpoint. He kept on catching Ellis with a very good jab. And I feel like that was maybe the difference maker in a fight. Don't get me wrong, I think it was in the third round, he knocked him down with a great straight right. He kind of like went jab, dipped a bit, and went boom, straight with the right hand. And I saw that like right in front of my eyes, because I was like in the corner where I was situated. And wow. But one thing I got to say, I think Hawley needs to step up. Go for the British, mate. You need to fight better opposition. That's one thing. Ellis, again, I think he will be back. He dared to be great. He wanted to win that title, and it would have been massive for him if he did win that title. But again, I'm not gonna say he did not box bad. Definitely not. It's just James Hawley was a level above, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And he just utilized that jab. Lots of little feints. Great movement as well by Hawley. He's a fast operator. He's slick and fast. I think for a super middleweight, he's actually really rapid. If you see him in real life, his jab is like very snappy and quick. And that's what he was having a lot of success with. He was hitting Ellis with double jabs. There was a few times Ellis was kind of bringing the heat and, you know, walking forward and basically kind of, how do you say it? Like mauling James Hawley. But James Hawley was quite smart, because what he will do, he will kind of like jump onto him, smother his work, and stop that rhythm, and not let him get in his groove. And one thing I realized is, I've seen James Hawley. I saw him at his last fight. I think it was when he won the Commonwealth against Frankie Davey at York Hall as well, main event. And from them both fights that I've seen him live, if you let James Hawley get in his groove, you're in trouble. Simple as that. He's a fighter that just grows in confidence as the rounds go on. And he was growing in confidence in that fight. One little blip there was, though. In the 10th round, he got cut along the eyebrow somewhere, along the eye. And I feel like that dipped his confidence a bit. He was getting caught with some silly shots where he shouldn't have. Maybe it was a 10th round and he was just like, you know what? Cool. I'm just going to cruise it. I'm just going to chill. I ain't going to worry. But yeah, he was getting caught with some serious shots. If it went on for 2 more rounds, don't know what could have happened, because Ellis was getting some success. But I don't know. It was the last round. Maybe, obviously, James could have afforded to lose that round. Yeah, he had a little bit of trouble there, but he got through. And now the question is, what is next for Hawley? I think that's going to be down to his promoter Sonny and the guys at Warren Boxing Management. But I'm sure he needs to step up. He's an entertaining fighter as well. I would go to watch him as a fan, for sure. Great boxer, great operator, but I think he needs to step up. No point. I mean, again, I'm not his manager, but there's no point of him defending that Commonwealth title, because he's better than that. He's defended it. Well, he won it, defended it once. Fair enough, but I think he needs to step up. Maybe let's push him towards English. Let's push him towards bigger things basically, and I think he's definitely British level easily. I don't want to say he can push past British level and he'll beat everyone. I don't want to be that guy, but definitely British level. I can see him with a British title and more for sure, 100%. He has been in the boxing game for a while though. He's 26, I think. Correct me if I am wrong, but 26. But he debuted at 19. And I remember watching his fight a long time ago, when he first come on the scene. But yeah, what a fighter. And yeah, I hope to see him. I want to see him against some tough opposition. I want to see what Hawley's like under the fire. And someone that's like maybe better than him or on the same level as him. And that's when I feel like you see a better James Hawley then. But yeah, props up to James Hawley. Now, onto the show. Overall, good show. I'm not going to say amazing, outstanding, oh my God. I'm not going to lie and be like, oh my God, it was the best show I've ever been to. But it was a good show. Fights were great. The opener fight was a fantastic fight. The main event was a fantastic fight. And a few fights in the middle were really good. My best fight I've seen this year, my best fight that I've seen this year, Dean Gardner versus Joe Butler. And that was a spectacle and a half. Pure entertainment. Overall, the production was decent. Had some good tunes on. I feel like they could have done better with the lights and stuff like that. I've been to York Hall quite a lot for fights, and I've seen some guys and some shows, they use them lights and proper make the ambience crisp and what you want, especially like a main event. But yeah, atmosphere was good as well. York Hall always has a good atmosphere, let's be honest. But that co-main event and the Dean Gardner fight and the main event had great atmosphere. People were going crazy. I think I can't remember which fight it was now. There was a seagull there as well. Well, not a real seagull, but a guy that was dressed up. And that brings a lot of fun as well. I did sit ringside for some of the fights as well, and it was really loud. It was crazy. I was hearing like the vuvuzelas going off as well. Atmosphere was top, actually. I've got to say the atmosphere was really good. The fans made it a proper night at York Hall to remember. What can they improve on? I mean, again, you can't compare them to Queensbury, Matchroom, etc. because that is unfair because they're a different level. But if you look at the shows around the small hall scene, they're definitely up there. I'm not gonna say they're the best ever, but they're definitely up there. I mean, again, it is tough to run a show like that and put off a show with such a good spectacle. However, it's just one of those things where every show they will get better. I did like the ring walk. I did a little thing of the ring walk. I did like the ring walk. The ring walk was nice, like the graphics and everything. And what I liked as well, what I don't see a lot of other shows do, is they put the round up as you're going along. Sometimes when you're watching a fight, you get a bit lost. You're like, oh, which round is it? And all you've got to do is just look to the left and you're, oh, round 6. Nice. But yeah, big up to them. I think I spoke to Alfie Warren at the end of the show, and I said, when are we seeing you guys next? And he is looking for September. So a few months' time, they're probably going to go back and see what's next. But I hope to see like someone like James Hawley back on a show like that, and Dean Gardner back on the show. And yeah, I just want to see them entertainment fights. But overall, yeah, thank you again for Warren Boxing Management for having me there. And the security on point as well. There was a few times the security had to come in. Their security is actually the best. No, their security is top notch, by the way, because it does kick off a bit sometimes at these shows. But their security are not a joke, and they make sure they close that lid straight away. So big shout out to the security team there. I think it was Roma Security. That's the security team. If I am wrong, I apologize. But yeah, what a show it was. I hope to see him again, and I will definitely be back. And yeah, great fights. Let's see what happens next.